Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. Thank you guys for tuning in on this glorious Friday afternoon. Listen, bruh, sis, everybody, I understand that it is the start of a holiday weekend, and some of you guys are like, I am already gone. But we hope that you will hang out with us for just a moment because I am back with another fantastic speaker interview. If someone happened to have shared this live stream with you, let me introduce myself. My name is Otesia Johnson. I'm the founder of Bet on Yourself Enterprises, but I'm coming to you today as the founder and host of the CEO Arise Conference. Now, if you have not heard of CEO Arise, let me tell you what it's all about. This is a conference that has been curated for kingdom entrepreneurs who literally understand that God have called them into the business world. They understand that they are ministers of reconciliation that have been called to the marketplace. That is where God has called them to operate as a minister of reconciliation. And you just are looking for your tribe. You are looking for the people who are out here praying like, God, I done did everything that you said to do. Now, Father, when is the manifestation gonna happen, Jesus? Right? So if that is you, if you have just been living your life from one instruction of God to the next, we want to see you in the room. It is for ministry leaders. It is for those who are in business and those who know you have been called to business, but you don't know where to start. Whether you have a nonprofit or a for-profit entity, whether you have an MLM business, whether you're insurance, whether you sell cars, whatever your industry is, you are invited to come into the room. The only thing that we have to tell you in advance is we love Jesus and we live according to Holy Spirit. So if you're okay with Jesus talk and us doing what Holy Spirit says do, you are in a great place with a tribe of people who believe like you believe. So I promised you guys that I was going to be bringing some of the speakers so that you guys would know in advance, get to know some of them and know who's going to be speaking at the conference. And today I am continuing that endeavor with a very, very dear woman that I have had the pleasure to meet. I think it was a year ago. I'm not quite sure. But the reason that I'm so excited to bring her to all of you is because she is literally walking out what we are talking about. Lucretia Williams is the founder of Distinct Event Planning, and God has shown her how to radically transition her business to where she was doing one type of event, doing things at a much smaller scale, to now God has elevated her, taken her to a larger scale. He has expanded her borders, enlarged her territory, and he is teaching her how to do great and mighty things for him and through how he empowers her in the marketplace. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to y'all the fabulous, the beautiful, the most elegant and luxurious Lucretia Williams.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. The sound is going in and out for me. So someone in the comments, you tell me if it's going in and out for you as well. It could just be my system because my system is doing some wonky stuff today. Will you guys tell me if our sound is going in and out? Somebody tell me in the comments. I know there's a little bit of a delay.
I hear sound.
Okay, it sounds great to y'all. So it's just over here.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right, so Lucretia, now that we realize that it's just something going on my end with the sound thing, I want you to tell the people who you are in your own words.
Oh, wow. Lucretia Williams, she's number one, she's a Jesus lover. Love me some Jesus. I call myself I've dubbed myself the queen of virtual collaborations. If I know someone who has a need for something in their business and I know someone that can fulfill that need, I will make a virtual intro so fast it'll make their head spin.
I love it.
Yes. So, and of course, a wife and a mom and all those great things, and a server of my ministry, and a lover of life. I just love life.
Lover of life.
Yes.
And you're a boss businesswoman.
Yes, ma'am. I am.
And you booked and busy.
Book and busy.
And productive.
Super. Yes.
So since you are so swamped and so busy, wait, real quick.
Yes.
Can I ask you to toot your own horn real quick before I go into this first question? You tell me if it's okay for you to toot your own horn. I'm just saying. I think the people need to know when they're in the presence of greatness. That's all I'm saying. You just did a major, major event earlier this year. What event was that?
I did. I did. We were able to work with the NBA, National
Mhm.
Basketball Association, who everyone knows who that is, and also the same weekend we were able to work with Hennessy. Everyone knows that brand,
Right,
like
right,
your BC days, right?
right.
But everyone knows that brand, so we were able to work with both of them in the same weekend for All Star Weekend in Cleveland, and it was just mind blowing. It was amazing that I was even in that in the presence of those
So
great names.
how long have you been an event planner?
Oh my God. I've been planning events for about 24 years, but I didn't launch the business until 2008.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because in the
wow.
beginning, event planning wasn't a thing.
Mhm,
We're talking about
mhm,
1998, well before social media. It was like, oh, you need something planned? Oh, I can do it. I can do it. And then after
mm,
doing that for free way too long, I was like,
mhm.
wait a minute, I'm spending too much time and money. This is like a job.
Right.
And I really started to realize this could be something, for my future. And then in 2008, I took the leap and made it official. And here we
I
are.
love it.
Yeah.
So you're doing all of these, amazing things in terms of the events that God has called you and opened the doors and allowed you to be able to do.
Yeah.
With your schedule being as busy as it is, why did you say yes to CEO Arise?
How could I not? Well, first of
Mhm.
all, if you're going to ask someone to do something, the answer should be yes. And I'm saying that, I know I'm tooting your horn, but I'm saying that because I know how you lay on your face
Mhm.
on the behalf of us business owners
Mhm.
and how you have been such an amazing trailblazers for those that are in the kingdom, who are CEOs of our
Mhm.
business. But what attracted me most to you, and you were the first person I heard say that, when do we make God our CEO?
Mm.
Like, that floored me. I was like, wow, CEO,
Mhm.
that's right. And when you were kind of giving us a little tidbits about this, when you came to speak here in Columbus, I was like, wow, this is going to be something, because there's a movement happening in the kingdom when it comes to entrepreneurs. Like the last
Yes.
years, if you really pay attention, there is a
Mhm.
huge movement that is happening. And I want to be in on that. I'm
Come
like,
on.
listen, I'm already a business owner. I already love the kingdom. So let's do both. Let's go.
Let's bring these two together. Come on.
Right. And to use, biblical principles as your foundation,
Mhm.
there's not a lot of people that's doing that. It's like I
Right.
had a conversation with someone the other day, and it's like I've been in conferences where I'm like, I don't even know if I can say Jesus. I don't even know if I can say
Mm.
I'm a believer, although I know all this goodness is happening because of
Mhm.
him, but I don't want to
Mhm.
offend nobody. Well, now we have
Right.
we have our own tables we've created. Well, we can talk about Jesus and we can talk about finances and business and things like that. And there's no offense. I
Right.
love it.
Right.
See, all
Right.
right. It's time. It's
It's
time.
time.
It's
It's time.
time.
It's time. You hit something on the head, and I had to compose myself. If y'all saw my face change, it's because I wanted to get up and run, but I can't run because I promise I'm gonna stay in my seat. Right, I'm gonna be a good interviewer. I'm gonna stay in my seat during these conversations. When you mentioned that there has been a shift happening as it pertains to entrepreneurship, God is concerned about business owners. I don't know any other way to say it. I have tried very unsuccessfully to talk about something else. I
Mm-hmm.
have tried to move away from it. I said, God, how many more scriptures can you give me that talk about it? Lord, we didn't have this conversation. I wrote the book, Lord. I done taught the workshop. I done preached the sermons. Can I talk about something else now?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
as you said, there is a shift happening because God is concerned about business owners. If
Yes.
God wasn't concerned about business owners, he would have never mentioned anybody's profession in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we need to know that Paul was a tent maker?
Right. Why do we need to know that?
There's a reason, that he put that out in the atmosphere in the word. And
Yeah.
so I think we as business owners have to slow down and really start leaning into what
Mm-hmm.
is God really saying to me about my
Mm-hmm.
business? Like making God my CEO. So some people have been confused. So if God is the CEO, why is the conference called CEO Arise, right? So I'm going to talk about that real quick. So God is your CEO, meaning he is the chief executive officer,
Yes.
meaning he makes all the managerial decisions concerning your business. But
Mm-hmm.
you are the chief execution
Yes.
officer. It's your job to execute the plans that God gives you in prayer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether
That's
they
right.
make sense or not. So that brings me to my next question for you, Lucretia.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to us about a time when God told you to do something in your business that made no sense, but paid off really big in the end.
Oh, that made no sense.
From a business perspective.
Well, I can say this, and this is partly business. I left my full-time job in 2019,
Okay.
but God had told me to do it 5 years earlier than that, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
do it. I was
Mm-hmm.
totally disobedient. And I was like, yeah, but I make good money. And I liked my job. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with it. It'd be different if I
Right.
didn't get along with my supervisor or my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
It was comfortable. It was easy. It was 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
from my house, and I didn't do it. And so in 2019, I was like, something had happened. And I was like, it was time. When I decided to do it, I knew that I knew I should have did it a long time ago. But when in 2019, when I did it, I said, okay, God, I'm going to take this leap of faith and I'm just jumping. So I,
Mm-hmm.
I know you
Mm-hmm.
got me. Well, that morning, I believe I turned my 2 weeks notice in. And then that following Monday is when the real kicked in. I'm not going to that job. I'm going downstairs
Mm-hmm.
to my dining room, which is not my office. And there was a whiteboard I had bought previously that
Mm-hmm.
year. At this point, it's September. I bought it back in January. It was still in the wrapping on up against the wall, and
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there like, okay, now what, God? And He told
Mm-hmm.
me to open up that whiteboard and hang it up. And I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm hanging up the whiteboard, and I had I had the whole kit and caboodle. And He was like, I want you to write every single client that you currently have. So I'm writing and I'm writing, and I sit back. It was the most clients I've ever had at one time. And here I'm thinking, I'm gonna make this money. Okay, I'm gonna supplement this income that I lost. And it blew me away because He was like, these are all of your clients as of
Wow.
this moment today, and there's more to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I believed that, I was like, oh, it's on now.
Come
Come
on.
on, let's
Come
go.
on. Come
And when
on.
I tell you the floodgates that opened because of my obedience to step out on faith and do what He asked me to do, when I tell you we are catching clients with catcher's mitts over here.
Come on. Come
Like
on, catcher's mitts.
I'm saying to people, we don't have the capacity. We can't do it. But then even in that, God was like, there's growth even in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's trying to take it to another level so that you do
Mm-hmm.
have the capacity. So it was me really leaving my job and stepping out on faith, finally being obedient to Him. And I mean, I forget that I worked there and I was there for 18 years. Like if somebody said, well, what did you used to do? I'm like, what did I do? Oh yeah, I worked for so and so. Like that's how He has completely wiped that from my
Wow.
mind and to
Mm-hmm.
focus on business. And I actually forget that I used to work there.
Wow. So let's talk about this. You said 2019. I didn't know that it was so recent.
I know. And nobody knew. None of
Wow.
my clients knew I had a second job, that I had a full-time job. I didn't,
Because you showed up and served that well.
but you know what? And people would say to me, how people like my friends and family who
Mm-hmm.
knew that I
Mm-hmm.
was working a full-time job and running a business on the side, they're like, how are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. It's God's grace because I have no idea how I'm doing this. And
Wow.
I'm not running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I don't know. It was his grace. But I'm gonna tell you the defining moment that really woke me up to leave the job is one day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who wanted me to plan a huge major corporate event. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I know you've been praying about corporate events. I think this is going to be great for you. And I told her I had a full-time job. And she was like, excuse me? I was like, girl, I do. She said, wait. Let me get this straight. You have a full-time job. I'm like, girl, 9 to 5, all day, every day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes
Wow.
on Saturday when I want some overtime. She's like, Lucretia, she said, let me get this right. You have this full-time job that you don't want to be there anymore. God done told you to leave. And you
Mm.
have a two successful business running on the side. I'm
Mm.
like, I do. She said, have you ever thought about there's somebody on that job praying for your seat and you don't even want it? What? And
Ooh.
I said,
Ooh.
what did you say? She says, somebody is praying for that promotion that
Mm.
they can only get if you leave and you sitting on that job when God got all this goodness over here waiting for you.
My God. My God.
I said, I
Ooh.
think about that. She said, what? I cried I said,
Yeah.
I had never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And
I would have cried as well.
right, I can vision God with his hands for the like, if she would just do what I asked her to do, I can bless you over here. But until she do that, you gonna have to wait, sis, bro. You gonna have to wait
Wow. Someone else's blessing was being held up because you would not move.
because of my disobedience. That was on
Wow.
January 1, 2019. I turned my notice in August.
Wow. Wow.
That was
Talk to
it.
me about that. You turned your notice in August 2019. The world shuts down March 2020.
Right.
You
So
plan events. Talk to us about what that looked like.
So I remember in early February, we were getting hints of this thing coming,
Mm-hmm.
happening, whatever. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a name, didn't nobody know what was going on. And I'm like, Lord, and I was like in my prayer closet, I said, Lord, I don't know what this is that's coming. But what I do know is that I'm a tither, I'm a seed sower, I serve in ministry, and you're going to cover us. That's all I
Come
know.
on. Come on.
And you told me to leave my job. So what I'm
Come
not
on.
going to do, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
When it hit, we had about 30 events on the books, which is the most I've ever had in my
Mm-hmm.
whole years of doing events.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, God, what in the world? So what me and my team did, I said, we got together and we prayed. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to contact and have weekly or bi-weekly meetings with our clients to let them know,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we don't know what this is, and neither do you all, but we're going to hold
Mm-hmm.
your hand through this process. Y'all know I'm a praying woman. And I said, we're going to get through this together. I don't care if we had to take weddings to micro weddings and we reschedule, take events to virtual. Do you know I have never had a client cancel on me
Come on, Jesus.
during COVID?
Come on, Jesus.
I've never had one client call and say, okay, we're just going to cancel our event.
Come
Not
on, Jesus.
one. And people sometimes don't believe me when I say that.
Mm.
I'm like, when I tell you God covered
Come
DEP
on.
in 2020 was the most money I have ever made since
Come
I opened
on.
up my
Come
business.
on. Come on.
My bottom line numbers, my accountant was like, sis, I'm like, in,
In a pandemic.
in a pandemic, the most money I have ever made.
Come on.
And hired people. Leave me alone.
Come through.
You
I
know
tell people all the time there's no such thing as a pandemic in heaven. There's no such thing as a recession or depression in heaven. We live by the kingdom
we
and
do.
God takes care of his own.
He
He
does.
takes care of us.
He does.
Oh,
It
that's
was
so
me
good.
away. It was money. It was folks like, we just gonna pay you off early so we can just get it done and be
Come on.
ready. I mean, my bottom line in 2020, God, all God,
Wow.
all
Come
God.
on, God. Come on, God. Woo! That's
Yeah.
so good. That blessed me. I got to tell myself to calm down because I want to run. You know, y'all keep coming on these interviews, dropping these gems, and I'm like, woo. You were literally in an industry that the pandemic thought it would shut down. People literally could not gather. And because you are faithful, because you are a tither, because you serve God with your whole heart, not only did your business survive, but it thrived despite what was happening in the economy. Come
Yes.
on, Jesus.
Yes.
This is why y'all need to be in the room with her. Y'all see what she, did y'all hear what she, did y'all catch that? Did you catch what she just dropped?
I promise. I promise. And I had folks calling me. I mean, wedding and event planners calling me frantic, shaking, like, sis, what we gonna do? I said, we got over here.
Come on. Come
I
on.
said, honey, you gonna pray. That's what you're gonna do.
Come on.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
But God told me there was some downtime because of course we weren't gathering during that time. I took my business development to a whole nother level. I'm taking all day. I'm doing masterminds, catching up, doing things, having conversations with my bookkeeper, really getting myself built up because God told me this is only going to be for a moment. These floodgates are going to open and I'm going to bless all of y'all. Wow. And that's what happened. The floodgates came and we were ready because we were able to build our foundation in my business to withstand all of this work that's coming in. It was, when I tell you I ain't mad at the pandemic,
come on.
I know people, we lost lives and loved ones and jobs and all that. But when I tell you, I'm not ashamed to tell you how much God has blessed me. That pandemic is it like nothing ain't never happened to me.
There are people, God blessed me to speak at the Women Who Roar conference, March 2020, and it had to be switched to virtual because of the pandemic. And they had shut things down in the state of South Carolina. And I remember as I was ministering, as I was prepping to minister to that group of people, he said to me that for some of us, we would thrive, that it would be more like a revealing and a revival. And if anybody was on, I don't know if any of the people from Women Who Roar are on here now, but they can attest. That was one of the things that the Lord said. He said, those of us who were in position would thrive. That was a promise that the Lord released. And I have talked to so many business owners. We are not insensitive to the deaths that have happened.
No.
We are not insensitive to those who have lost things. But it is our testimony that God he far exceeded. Ephesians 3:20 became alive, and he far exceeded our expectations during that time. I am a witness as well. It was nothing short of miraculous. It was just the hand of God at work. It was the hand of God. So you were talking about, being busy. We busy over here, right? So talk to us briefly, don't give it all away, about what you're going to be sharing at the conference.
Woo!
I love your personality, by the way.
When I tell you, y'all, man, listen. Because God gave me one title and then he had me switch it, right? And I was like, oh, well, what? Why am I doing? I'm like, oh, but now to me, it makes sense. So the title is, Sis, You're Doing Too Much. God did not create you to do this by yourself. And what that is about is, especially for women, we come into our industries brand new, right? God gave us this vision, start a business. And I have known people, even myself, that it's running it all by themselves. And I mean, we tired, we can't see straight, we trying to do everything at one time, and we have not opened ourselves up to allow God to choose the right people to come and help us grow our business.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We have this attitude of, I can do it by myself. I just do it by myself. And I say to people who have that, well, I did all this by myself. Yeah, but sis, you sleeping? How your sleep? How your mental health going? When
Right.
last time you
How
been to
your
the
marriage
doctor?
doing?
How your marriage doing? That's
Yeah.
no badge of honor that you did it by yourself.
Come on.
That's no badge of honor because when God gives me something, He expects me to nurture it and grow. When I'm able to hire more people, that's another prayer being answered. Someone that
Come
says,
on.
listen, I want to work for an event planner and I'm going to come alongside her and we going to kill this thing. That's an answered prayer. But if I'm doing it all by myself, where are those other answered prayers going? And then
Right.
again, my sleep, my mare, everything else is suffering because I just want to
Mm-hmm.
do it by myself. Take that
Mm-hmm.
cape off. Take
Come on,
that
take the
cape
cape
off.
off. Come on.
Take
Come
it
on.
off. I read
That's
a
so good.
quote recently and I actually put it into my presentation that said, great dreams are heavy and they are not meant to be carried by a single pair of hands.
That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. That's so good.
You
My
got this.
friend Rashonda says,
Go ahead.
if you can do it by yourself, it's not big enough.
Ooh, it's not. It's
It's not.
not. It's not
It's not.
big enough.
It's not big enough.
Yeah. And there's
That's so
no
good.
way if God told you to open up a business, run it or whatever, there is no way He has set it up for you to do that by yourself. He just
That's so
wouldn't
good.
do that.
Nope. Nope.
There's no
Because you can't
way.
scale it.
You can't scale.
You can't scale it. Can't
Yeah.
scale it by yourself. You just can't. You'll always
Yes.
be limited to the number of hours in a day that you can physically work.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
it,
good.
sis.
That's so good.
When I tell you, folks gonna be in there crying.
Come on.
And they gonna be in there like, was she in my bedroom? Like she know all my business. When I tell you, I am bringing the fire with this because I've lived it. I've been there.
Yeah.
No, I got it. I can do it by myself. And now that I have a team, I don't know how the way they free me up to do CEO duties.
Come on. Come on.
Because all this stuff that was going on that needed to be done, the bookkeeping, the HR, all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
that only I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they've come alongside of me, I'm able to do that. I'm able to
Right.
remove myself from that day-to-day operational
So
thing
good.
so I can operate as a CEO. I can't make decisions as I'm running all these meetings and coming to this and doing this and running timeline. Who getting the HR done? Who doing the reviews?
Right.
Who doing the insurance? Who's doing that?
Right. Right. Who's turning this in from a one woman show into an enterprise?
Yes,
And
that's it.
ultimately, if you're going to grow from a solopreneur to someone who has something that you can leave, something that
Mhm.
creates legacy, you have to be able to expand your horizon
You have
and
to.
you have to allow God to show you how to trust people to come
Mhm.
alongside you. And so
Mhm.
if that's you, if you've been in that solopreneur, I saw a couple of ouches in the comments. Sharon says, I don't even want the cape.
Right.
I love it. Nicole says, ouch. We stepped on a few toes here.
Yes.
But if that's you, we want to encourage you to come so that you can hear Lucretia's full talk
Mhm.
live and in color. I told you guys, God has said there are certain things, and I read the scripture the other night from Jude where it talks about how there are certain things that he would have written,
Mhm.
with pen and ink. But he said, I don't want to write this. I want to say this to you face to face. This is too important for me to write it in pen and ink. And so we know in biblical day, that's all they had was ink and
Mhm.
paper. That's all they
Mhm.
had. Today, 2022, that looks like virtual meetups, right? And there
Mhm.
are certain things that are too important to be released virtually. You got to be in the room.
You got to be in the
Period.
room.
Period. So there is no virtual component. Plenty of people have asked me for it. I thought about it. I
Mhm.
prayed about it. And God said,
Yeah.
no. This is for people who are ready to be in the room. So
Mhm.
if you have found yourself, if you resonated with anything that Lucretia said, you found yourself in that space, I want to encourage you. I'm trying to find your link. I know it was shared here in the comments. There it is. It is in the comments, so you guys can also go there to find it. Just click on it in the comments. Willa Marie was amazing to share it. Click on this link so that you can go ahead and reserve your seat. I've gotten lots of inboxes and some DMs over on Instagram. Yes, there is a payment plan. We made this to where if you are serious about investing in
Mhm.
your own future, this is for you. And this is a tax deductible expense because it's business education for you. If
Mhm.
you are serious and you really want to be in the room, we've made it affordable for you to be in the room. And
Mhm.
here's why the ticket is not cheaper, because I'm just gonna kill this devil that wants to keep talking about the price of the ticket. It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
cheaper because of the amount of the value that you are getting, and you have to be accustomed to investing. There are many of you who want to raise your prices in your business, but you won't raise your investment level.
Woo!
You don't want to invest, but you want people to invest in you. How does that
Mhm.
work?
Where they do that
You
at?
have no problem quoting a $1,500, $2,000 service, but you have a problem paying $1,000 or $2,000. There's a problem there. You'll never be able to attract what you want to invest.
That's right. That's
You
right.
got to raise your investment level. If nothing else, you need to be in the room with people who are dropping the gems, very similar to what Lucretia just dropped here on this live for you all. And you need to network with other attendees. Anybody who works with me knows I will pair y'all up. Lucretia talked about it. She loves it. She's the queen of the virtual connection. But it's like, oh, you do this? Oh, and you do this? Oh, here, there you go. Go off in the corner. Y'all talk about it. Y'all go work that out together. I love partnerships. I love
Yes.
putting brands and businesses together so that you can see the results that you desire in your own life. You need to
Mhm.
be in the room for that.
That's
You
right.
just at the end of the day, you need to be in the room.
That's right.
Point blank and the period.
I love that you're not
Boom.
doing virtual.
No virtual.
I love
You
it.
need to be
Mhm.
in the room.
That's right. That's
Gotta be
right.
in the room.
So
So
excited.
thank you so much for being with us. Miss
Sure,
Joyce's
my
edge is gone. That's so
pleasure.
funny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your yes, Lucretia.
Oh,
From my first time meeting you virtually and then having an opportunity to meet you in person, you are just an absolute beautiful, gentle soul. I
thank
love how you love God and how you love God's people. And the
you.
other thing about you, you fly, sis. You fly. You
Look at I
fly.
said
You
we're
look
same
amazing,
colors
girl.
too. We the
Right, color
same.
coordinated. God knew what was up. He knew what was up.
Thank you. I'm bringing the fits. I'm bringing the outfits. So
Okay,
get ready, South Carolina.
thank you so much for being here. We
Bye-bye.
greatly appreciate you, Lucretia. Take
Thank
care.
you. All right. Bye bye.
I love it. Okay, so guys, that was Lucretia. She is amazing. I want you in the room. I'm going to hop off here now because here shortly I'm going to come back with another speaker. If you have not reserved your ticket, Lucretia's link, I have it on the screen here. It's in your comments so that you can click on it. We want to make sure that you go ahead and reserve your ticket. I told you guys, don't come messaging me August 29th and 30th talking about, can I still get a ticket? The answer will be no. Once we sell out, we sell out. I am not opening any other tickets. This is not a marketing ploy. They will be gone. I promise you that. So go ahead and reserve your ticket. Make the investment in yourself, your future, your family, your business. All right. I'll see you guys back here shortly. Y'all take care. Bye bye.